Hi everyone, we're still working with fractions and we're on ninths. We're on page 45 and we're going to be starting on question 3. So it's equivalent fractions again, so it's what fractions match. So if you can see in this one, it's in thirds and this one is in ninths. So again, we imagine it's a pizza. This pizza is the same size as that pizza, but this one is cut into 3 and this one is cut into 9. So one part out of something. So we're looking at the one that's coloured in. So one part out of how many are coloured in. And we can see that one part is coloured in out of 1, 2, 3. And how many parts out of 9 are coloured in? 1, 2, 3. So one part out of 3 is the same as 3 parts out of 9. And if you step back and look at it as a pizza, if this pizza was getting divided between 3 people, they'd get a big huge slice each. But if this pizza was getting divided between 3 people, they'd get 3 slices each, and it would still be the same amount. It's just that they're cut up smaller. But the colours help you to figure it out, and you just match how many are coloured out of how many there are all together, and write that it equals the same out of this shape. And then for question 4, it's the same thing, except they only have one shape this time, so it's a little bit harder to work out, but you'll be fine. So this fraction is the same as something out of 9 or 1 something. So we'll count all the shapes first to see how, all the squares, in the shape first to see how many there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 altogether, and we can see that 3 out of 9 are coloured. So we can see straight away 3 out of 9 is this part, or 1 out of blank. So then we have to look at it and see it as 1. So if this is 1, this is also 1, and this is also 1. Because remember, with fractions, they have to be even. So if this is 1, that's coloured in, this is 1, this is 1. So it means that 1 part out of 1, 2, 3 parts are coloured in, and 3/9 or 1/3 are the same. So if you kind of take a little step back and have a look at the book, you can see, okay, they're telling me that 1 part out of something is coloured in. This is what's coloured in. And if this is 1 part, this matches it and this matches it. So it means that there's 3 parts altogether. So it's a little bit harder than the ones up here that have 2 shapes to show you, but it's fine. You'll be fine with it. Then on to page 46. And it's the thing that we did before. We've done it with thirds and sixths, and you divide each set into 9 equal parts, and then you colour 1/9 of each set. So if you're going to draw it like this, and to divide it into 9, you're just going to draw lines through it to divide it up. So I have done one for an example. I've done one that's not there. So this is a set and they want me to divide it into ninths. So before I start, I'm not going to guess, I'm going to check. So if I go across, there's 1, 2, 3. There's only 3 rows, so I can't divide that into ninths by going across. If I go down, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. So going across or going down makes a difference. So check first. So I'm going to go down and divide them into ninths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So each group is 1/9. And if they want to know what 1/9 is, 1/9 equals, I count how many's in one group. 1, 2, 3. And that will be my answer. So they will ask it as 1/9 of 27. So 1/9 of 27, because that's how many are here all together, equals 1, 2, 3. And that's the way that we do that one. Now, on question 2, it is the same type of question. If you see, it's like this. So there's 2 ways that you can do it. You can either draw them like these, which will take a while, or you can divide by the bottom, multiply by the top. Now, if I look at all of these, they all have 1s on the top, so it means that I won't have to multiply by the top at all. But just to show you, let's say I'm going to do 2 part D, so 1/9 of 90. So let's get rid of this one. So 1/9 of 90. So I divide by the bottom and I multiply by the top. So first of all, I'm going to have to do 90 divided by 9. Now, if you know your 9 times tables, which you do, you can just do them. So you can go 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. And I can see that it fits in 10 times. But without the tables, we'll do it like this. So how many times does 9 fit into 9? It fits in perfectly once. Then I'm finished with this. And how many times does 9 fit into 0? 0. Doesn't fit. So we have found out that 90 divided by 9, which is this, divided by the bottom, is 10. And then just to the top, 10 multiplied by 1 equals 10. Anything multiplied by 1 stays the same. So that will be my answer for part A. And they'll all be done that way. Now, if you want to draw them and figure it out that way, of course you can. Or if you want to divide them by the bottom multiplied by the top, it's the big number that you divide. So 27 divided by 9, and then the answer multiplied by 1. 54 divided by 9, and then the answer multiplied by 1. So 2 different ways that you can do it. Then on question 3, it says colour 2/9 of A, 3/9 of B, and 4/9 of C. So that's easy enough to do. You are going to draw it first, then divide it into ninths like you did with the one up here. And then instead of colouring in, see the way they actually have an example for every one? Instead of colouring in, if you're doing this one, okay? If this asked you to colour in 2/9, you'd colour in exactly as they did. If it asked you to colour in 3/9, you'd colour in another group. If it asked you to colour in 4/9, you'd colour in another group. And then you get your answer down here. So if it was 2/9 of this, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or if it was 3/9, it would be 9, 10, 11, 12. 4/9 would be 13, 14, 15, 16. You get me? So they have an example up before them, but it's the same as this. You're dividing it up into ninths. So just count across first to make sure there are 9, then split them into groups of 9, and then you'll get your answer. But just be careful because it's not asking for 1/9 anymore. It's asking for 2, 3, or 4. And then down here on question 4, again, it's the same as question 2, except this time they do have numbers on the top. So to do question 4, you can either draw out all of these. So you'll have to draw 18 circles or squares, 45 circles or squares, 27 circles or squares, whatever, in groups of 9. Or you can do dividing by the bottom and multiplying by the top. So I'll do one for an example for you. I'll do 3/9 of 18. So 3/9 of 18. Now I'm going to divide by the bottom and then I'm going to multiply by the top. So 18 divided by 9. How many times does 9 fit into 1? It doesn't. It's too small. Carry over the 1. How many times does 9 fit into 18? 9, 18, twice. So I've just found out that 18 divided by 9 is 2. And now I'm going to have to multiply that 2 by 3. So 2 groups of 3. 3, 6 is my answer. So 3/9 of 18 equals 6. Now,